Hey everyone, James here again. With over 1,000 confirmed cases in the United States and more than 4,000 deaths worldwide, it's high time that Music Biz take a look at the coronavirus. It's funny in a not at all funny way that we actually recorded this entire video earlier this week, and basically all of the information we provided has already become outdated. So here we are doing it one more time. If you're watching this, I have to imagine that you are well aware of the coronavirus. Now, I'm not going to get into the details of the disease itself, but it's safe to say that this disease has taken the world by storm. There are over 1,000 confirmed cases in the US as of today, March 11th, 2020, and there are thousands more around the world. Over 4,000 people have died globally, and that number is expected to rise in the weeks and months ahead. As you can imagine, this is causing a lot of economic stress in virtually all corners of the marketplace, but it is especially having an effect on certain aspects of the music industry. Now, before we get into where we're going, let's talk about what we already know. Starting in mid-February, bands across the country began canceling tour dates, mostly overseas. Green Day was one of the first high-profile artists to cancel their Asian tour dates, which was followed by more acts canceling dates planned around Asia as well. More recently, Pearl Jam has canceled their upcoming North America tour, citing concerns over the coronavirus. Justin Bieber has downsized venues for his upcoming Changes tour, citing concerns for the coronavirus. Coachella, Stagecoach Festival both pushed back to October, and South by Southwest and Winter Music Conference both outright canceled. Some events outside the music industry, but in the peripherals, also canceled as well, including E3. Now, as you can imagine, the cancellation and postponement of these major events is causing a ripple effect throughout the music industry. Live Nation, Vivendi, Spotify, and other giant corporations have watched their stocks slowly slide in recent weeks. Live Nation in particular, which is the biggest live entertainment company in the world, has been among the hardest hit. A month ago, their stock was valued at about $72 per share, and this week it's averaging about $45 per share. That is a difference of about $4 billion in market capital. That's billion with a B. But I know putting things in terms of these giant events and giant corporations is not relatable for the vast majority of you. If you're anything like me, you just work in the music industry. You're a regular 9-to-5er putting in 40 hours a week or however much time you're able to get. Maybe you're paid hourly, and that's where I want to talk about and focus today. Dealing with the live industry first, because there are probably a ton of people who are very curious about what the future holds. I think in the short term, we are going to see more cancellations, more postponements, and there will be things that are not even announced yet that'll be delayed a little bit just to see what's going on with all these fears and concerns around the coronavirus. A big problem with this is that we don't yet have a lot of testing available to people. There's less than 2,500 people in the United States who have currently been tested for the coronavirus, and of them, hundreds have already been found to have the disease, which leads people to worry that there are far more infected than we know about. And that's why there's this ripple effect happening throughout live entertainment. People don't want to go to a show filled with 500 people they don't know and take the chance that one or more of them may already have the disease and put themselves at risk of contracting it. But venues and tour staffs everywhere are doing their best to calm those fears. I know that at many venues they're implementing new cleanliness policies. They're requiring employees to wash hands, they are sanitizing bars and banisters and railings and basically anything people would touch throughout the night. Furthermore, touring groups and tour staffs, that means the crew, the artists, they are taking similar precautions. They are cleaning everything. They are constantly sanitizing things. They are doing everything in their power to still give people a great show, but while making a space as safe and as hygienic as humanly possible. But simply giving people a safe and clean place to enjoy a performance is not enough, because people will not go anywhere where they don't necessarily feel safe. It's not about whether or not it is, it's about how the consumer feels. And right now, there are a lot of people who are concerned that they are going to contract this virus, which means that they are going to avoid any large public gathering, regardless of what that event happens to be. And I think that we will see that first in attrition rates. And by that I mean how many people buy a ticket for a show versus how many people actually show up at the door. I know just this week I attended a concert that was being marketed as having a small amount of tickets left, but there were several hundred unclaimed tickets left at the door. And that's just because people are becoming concerned. They don't want to risk getting the disease no matter how great the concert is. And that's going to impact the industry in a big way, because the music business, while gigantic, is very interconnected. So when a gigantic high-profile tour isn't moving as many tickets as people expect, that hurts the venue, that hurts the artist, that hurts their management team, that hurts their record label, that hurts the agents, that hurts the entire ecosystem of the music industry. And if you multiply that by all of the artists on tour all over the country and all over the world, because this problem is all over the world, there's going to be a giant impact across the entire industry. And the people who are going to be hurt most are the low-level employees, the hourly employees, the tour crew. Because if a tour isn't going to sell a ton of tickets, they aren't going to be able to have as big of a crew. That's lost jobs. And for venues and other industry businesses, if there's not as much money coming in, they're going to be slimming down on staffs. It'll only be those people who already have a full-time role at the company. There won't be as many hourly roles, there won't be as many small-time positions, and the people that do keep their hourly roles will likely see that they get even less hours on each schedule. And that's going to create an economic pinch on those individuals that makes it harder for them to fight the coronavirus. Now, I know that all of that is very scary, and I don't want to be spreading fear through this video. I think that it is important that we know the facts and understand the implications of what's happening, because I feel that knowledge gives us a better sense of where we are and where we need to go. But I do believe two things to be true, and that is that both humans and the music business are incredibly resilient. We have overcome countless challenges throughout time. And when people overcome those challenges, when the fear begins to subside, when the scariness goes away from things, what people always turn to, time and time again, throughout the history of the human experience, is music. Music is the thing that has brought communities and groups together for as long as there have been people, and it will continue to do so. So once we get past this moment in time, when we get past this virus that is hurting people all over the world, people are going to be seeking out live music. They're going to seek out the release of being in live music. They're going to be seeking out the community that surrounds live music. And when that happens, the industry will begin to thrive again. Because the music business isn't going anywhere. Though in the short term, we may see a lot of cancellations and some people may lose their jobs and some people will certainly be working less than they would otherwise, the industry will come roaring back, because it always does. And in the meantime, what's more important than a specific role or a specific tour or a specific event is that you take care of yourself. And I know that we say that every single week on this show. We always end it the same way, and we probably will today. But it is of the utmost importance that you take care of yourself. That should be your first priority, because having good hygiene, washing your hands, taking care of things, making sure that you have enough food, that you're eating well, that you're exercising, that you are trying to be as healthy as possible, that is the best way that you can make a positive impact on this situation right now. Because making people think that it is okay to go somewhere where they might possibly contract a disease, yeah, you might be able to do that for a while, but in the long run, that's going to ultimately hurt more people. The best thing that we can do is take care of ourselves and encourage others to do the same and help them in whatever ways we can without putting ourselves at risk. And in time, this moment will pass, the industry will come roaring back, and we will go back to just talking about the music business and talking about digital promotion and Twitter stories and Instagram stories and social media marketing and, viral albums and song drops and all of that stuff that we tend to talk about filling our days all of the time. We will get back there. I wholeheartedly believe that. And I don't know when that'll happen. I don't think it's too far in the future, but for right now, it's important that we focus on ourselves, doing as well as we can to take care of ourselves, taking care of our communities, and trying our best to persevere, because we will get back to a better point in time, but it will take a bit. And in the meantime, as always, I will be right here creating new videos to talk about the music business with you. And I don't plan to do a ton of videos about the coronavirus. I want to think that we covered as much of it as possible right here. But I do plan to do a little bit about how we can promote during this time, not leveraging a disease to get ahead, but rather working around people's fears in order to continue promoting your art and your creativity. Because right now, the world really needs creativity. We need escapes. We need something that will make us feel good, because the world outside is so scary. And that's where music comes in. And if you want to learn better ways to promote your music or better ways to write and record music, then click that subscribe button down below. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that right now, that's absolutely fine. I appreciate you making it this far in the video. And if nothing else, let me leave you with this. If you do nothing else this week, take care of yourself. I mean that mentally, physically, nutritionally, in all the ways, and take care of the people that you love, because they and you deserve it.